Hello, everybody! This is ULB2 coming at you with my episode review of episode 9 of Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. Now, this was another funny episode, broken up into two halves, two different separate stories. I'm trying to decide which one I found funnier. I'm going to have to lean possibly a little to the first one. But let's get into this. Now, the first half is basically just the traditional shoujo scenario of you get out of class, it's raining, and you don't have an umbrella, which is what Sakura is basically caught in. And that was hilarious because then she's like, Nozuki shows up and she's like, yeah, they said it was 100% rain and I didn't bring an umbrella, so I'm kind of stupid. And he goes like, yeah, that makes us both dunces. And she's like, dude, you could have said that better. You could have been nicer about it. Whatever. So they're coming up with ideas on how to get back in the rain. And they come up with the classic, cover yourself with your jacket. And Nozaki-kun says, I have come up with a new technique so your bag doesn't get wet in the process, which looks totally ridiculous. So he basically just pulls it up like this, so it's covering his bag on the side, and he has Sakura stand in front of him, and they run in a line, so they're covering each other. And they end up coming back to school, and they're like, yeah, we didn't figure that their jackets would soak up as much water as they did. They didn't work out the way it does in the manga. So they're sitting there, and first we see Miko Shiba, and she's like, yeah, I didn't bring my umbrella. And we have a flock of girls come to her, and they're like, yes, take my umbrella, use my umbrella, let's share umbrella. And she ends up going off in a group. It's like a freaking shell of umbrellas all going off. So they're all using the umbrellas together, and they're like, yeah, that looks like a bunch of mushrooms. That's just not great. And then finally, Yuzuki, she shows up, and she's like, here, take my umbrella. I don't give a crap. She grabs her bag, puts over her head, and starts running in the rain. Like, yippee! Yes! It's gonna be fun! Yay! So, the rest of this segment is basically Nozuki and Sakura basically walking back, sharing an umbrella, and the things that happen, like, first Sakura's holding it, and she's like, oh, I wonder if people think we're a couple. But he's so tall, even though her arm is way up like this, his head is pushing almost through the umbrella, so they end up swapping, which just makes more sense. And still they walk, and she's like in her head, oh, I wish my place was farther away so we could do this. And suddenly he goes like, yeah, I wish I could get to my place sooner. I forgot my laundry out. They're getting wet. I left my laundry out to dry. It's getting wet. So they get back to their place, and they're wet, and Nozuki says, Sakura, why don't you undress? And she's like, no, I don't have anything. He pulled out the sailor suit from a couple episodes before, which he bought as reference material for manga to have her wear, and that's basically the segment of this joke thing of all the funny things that happened. The second segment follows Miyako, who is Nozuki's neighbor, who is a college student, who also draws manga, the one who draws, always adding Tanuki in her manga. And this segment starts off with the fact that she's saying, yes, I draw manga, but my cover story is that I am a college student. And it shows her writing in her book. All these little segments, you can tell, are for her manga, just little ideas and references. And everyone in her class thinks she's either writing about her boyfriend, which she does not have, or when she's talking to her editor about basically everything in her manga, they think she's talking to her boyfriend. So we have this hilarious misunderstandings. And of course, we have she has, of course, Nozaki's former editor, which he cannot stand. And it was hilarious of we seeing all the different things she's doing, trying to get her new manga out and to work and to do, and to go through properly without him editing it so much to make it almost his, because he seems to really edit. She comes up with the title, he changes the title, she tries to say have a term for something in the manga, he alters it again. So they're basically telling Nozaki and Sakura in this piece are telling her to speak up to him and tell him to listen to her and don't change my shit. And in the end, she calls him up trying to do that, but in the end ends up going down her normal route of, oh, that's a wonderful idea, I'm so sorry. And in the end, they try to get him to understand by hiding codes or whatever in the manga, like dressing up her character, instead of just having tanukis on the side, dressing up the main character as a tanuki, and for some reason he still likes this. So this was hilarious misunderstandings. Nozaki also suggested that have the first letter in each frame basically put together and make a sentence like saying, I don't change my work, and she ends up writing Tanuki instead. So it's a hilarious misunderstanding in the segment, which was funny as hell, but still I have to say the interactions with the rain were funnier, but still this part was funny, it was hilarious, it was really good, well done, and I think this is an okay series. I could have picked something better to review week to week, but I picked this one, so. But still, this is a funny series. I like the segments. I like the misunderstandings. I'm still hoping at the end of the series, Sakura finally gets freaking Nozaki to notice her and actually start dating her. So, even though this is more of a comedy with misunderstandings, the fact that she likes Nozaki-kun and started the first episode off with trying to confess her feelings to him, I feel that by the final episode, we need to tie that up and get this relationship going. Other than that, this was a pretty good episode, and I'm looking forward to more. Thus, this is the old boy E2 saying, if you like this video, please click like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. This is E2 signing out.